What's up guys, welcome to the channel. In today's video we are in Willowcreek and I am making a base game only suburban home. This house probably looks super familiar to you guys. I totally got inspired by the new house of the Pancakes right next door. They got a newly renovated house in the recent update and I absolutely love the fact that they redid all of the houses. However, I do think that a lot of them are still kind of ugly. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they're just like, they're not the best. There's certain things about them that I just cannot stand. For example, the Pancakes house is weird. I cannot stand the way that some of the roof edges, I don't know the actual term for that, but some of the roof edges are like hanging over the edge, but then some of them are not and they're like super short, and I cannot stand that. Like, if you're going to do that, do it all the way around, make it even, make it make sense. But if you're not going to do that, then don't do it all the way around. You guys know what I'm talking about. So the Pancakes' house is really bad about that. And so I did not do that on my house. And I also just made my house a lot smaller altogether. Their house is like super large. Like, they have like a 3-tile patio in the front. And I feel like that's just a little bit too big. It's hard to make bigger houses like that look super good and super cluttered, and especially with just the base game. And so yeah, you'll see that there's a little bit of familiarity on the outside of my build, but for the most part it's pretty different, and the inside is definitely different. As for the color scheme of this house, I kind of stuck with like a red, white, and blue, and I did not do that purposely. I wasn't really trying to make it like, you know, American or anything like that, but I really like the colors red, white, and blue together. I don't know why. It's probably because I am American and I grew up singing that, but I think they complement each other very well, especially on the inside of this house. I feel like the interior is decorated so cute, and I hope you guys agree. Of course, if you do enjoy this video in any way, then please leave a like on this video and subscribe if you have not already. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys that stay around and watch my videos and leave likes and comments and subscribe. So yeah, thank you guys all very much from the bottom of my heart. I mean it sincerely. So let's go ahead and get into the details of this house a little bit. So as I was saying, yes, it is very, very red, white, and blue. And the outside is very, honestly, Willowcreek coated. Like, it matches Willowcreek so perfectly. And I also added like a privacy fence around the back. In the front, I have some like brick and gray stone like paving up to the stairs to the front door. And right now I don't have too much landscaping out, but I do use my favorite bushes, guys, and I finally learned the name of those bushes. They're just hedgerow. That's it. That's all they were named, and I was making it more difficult than it really needed to be honest. But that's what I do. That's like part of my personality. I can't help it. And I am working on the floor plan now. So this house ended up being 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, and I don't love making the exact same number of bathrooms as there are bedrooms. I feel like that's not super realistic, and it's a little bit too many bathrooms at the end of the day, but that is just what ended up happening here in this floor plan. This floor plan, I would love to say, happened to come out very quickly, but it didn't. I struggled just like I always do, but I cut out a large portion of the struggle this time. I figured you guys didn't need to see all that, right? Now, as for the Sims that live here, I had in mind there are obviously 2 parents or 1 parent, and then there are 3 children, and all the children I have upstairs. And honestly, I did that purposely. I feel like a lot of the time in real life, the master bedrooms typically are downstairs, at least a lot of the houses that I have seen. And then a lot of like the other spare bedrooms are upstairs. So I kind of figured, you know, obviously the spare bedrooms are going to be for the children. And so yeah, I kind of wanted to mimic that. Another disclaimer, I think I say this in almost all of my videos. If you can hear breathing in the background, I am sorry. That is my dogs. Yes. I have 3 boxers, and they are very loud when they breathe. And then they walk around, and yeah, I really need to get my office set up so I can go do my videos in there and not have all of this extra background noise. But I mean, to be honest, they do sound kind of cute, and it's a very, very small little breath in the background. So if you can hear that, that's what it is. Figured I'd let you guys know so you don't like sit there and wonder why do you hear breathing and where is the breathing coming from? Because I know if I was like alone in bed at night watching a speed build and I heard like random breathing, I would definitely be scared. So I just wanted to put that out there for you guys just in case. But we are now starting on the furnishings for this house, and this is the dining room right here. I knew I really wanted to make this the dining room since it had like the windows and the sliding glass door, and I absolutely love that new sliding glass door. Now that's not the newest one that we got. This one we got like several months ago in an update, and I totally missed it. We used to only have like the little short cha-cha slide, and I guess at some point they added the tall one. And I don't know how I missed it up until like a couple of weeks ago, but I cannot stop using it. It has been so long since I have wanted a tall sliding glass door that actually went up to the ceiling, because I mean, if you use these tall windows, I absolutely cannot stand when you have a short little door next to it. Like, it looks so bad. And so I'm so happy that they finally added the tall sliding glass door. That's so awesome. And so I have been taking advantage of it and using it in all of my recent builds lately, but I definitely don't regret it. But yeah, since it has the sliding glass door and the windows, I really wanted that to be the dining room. And here is the kitchen. I put the kitchen towards the front this time. A lot of my builds, I have the kitchen facing the backyard, but I kind of wanted to face the front yard this time. This way, like, you know, your Sim could be there washing dishes. There's no window in front of the sink, and I cannot stand that, but it is what it is. It's better than having the sink not even to the window. And so I had to do some finagling to make the sink where it is. I had to like put some other of the small end cabinets next to the sink so that it fit directly in the center of that wall. So your Sims can totally still use those cabinets and those counters though. I play tested that purposely because I mean, looks are great, but at the end of the day, if you can't play in a house, then is it even worth anything? No, not really, because I mean, when you play The Sims, you're playing The Sims. You're not just like looking at the kitchen sink and then you can't use it. You guys know what I mean? Or the counters or whatever it may be. But like I was saying, my whole point of putting the kitchen facing the front was so that, you know, your Sim could be there cooking or washing dishes and they could see their neighbors walking by, or they could see their visitors walking up to their front door to see who's here. Maybe they see Peeping Tom out there being the weirdo that he is. And yeah, I mean, there's so many reasons why I decided to put the kitchen towards the front yard instead of the backyard, just to switch it up a little bit. You know what I mean? I always face the backyard when it comes to my kitchens, just because I feel like that's the best view of the house. But it's also super realistic to have your kitchens towards the front yard as well, so that, you know, you can keep an eye out. Stay in tune with what's happening in the neighborhood, what's happening with your neighbors. You guys know what I mean? This is probably perfect for someone that's in the neighborhood watch. But anyways, we are over into the living room now. Just to let y'all know, I am not done with like the dining room completely yet. I am going to go back and add some decorations, but unfortunately, I think I accidentally cut that part out. Not cut it out, but I think I forgot to record myself doing it. I definitely like left for a minute and exited out of the game, and then I came back and I got to building again, and I definitely did the master bedroom, and I forgot that I was not recording, so that definitely sucks. But it was like too much for me to go back and redo. I've done that so many times. I'm like, you know what? They will see the bedroom in the build during certain parts, and it's really not like a super unique bedroom anyways. It's like a basic base game bedroom, so it's fine. You are able to see everything else in this house, just not the master bedroom. It's fine. So since this is a family house, I really wanted to add some like toys and stuff in the living room, and I was going to add a little fence for your infant, but it did not fit. It was like such a small area, it didn't really make sense. I didn't want to like have an area particularly for the infant and it's like a tile wide. I feel like that's kind of mean. So I ended up doing away with the fence idea and I just added the toys there. Of course, if you download this house, then you could totally add the fence back and probably just delete the couch that's there. That's the only thing that's needed, and then you could put the fence there. But I did want to add at least some toys, and so I added a toy box and a stuffed animal and then some of the blocks. I don't think I told you guys the actual like ages of the kids that live in this house. I have a room for a child, a room for a toddler, and a room for an infant. So you'll see different items around the house that are like skill building items and toys and different things that go with those age groups. I also remembered to add a high chair in this build, and so that's always fun. And the actual dining room that's there, I went back and forth on those red curtains that you've seen me place down, but I thought they were so vibrant and I don't know, it kind of looked good, so I ended up keeping those red curtains. Honestly, I find red curtains a little bit hard to use in builds just because they are so vibrant, but they looked so good in that dining room, and so I just had to use them. And plus, this is like a red, white, and blue themed house, even though I wasn't really going for that, but that is what it turned out to be. So I figured it was the perfect time to use those red curtains. And you've seen me place a little transition there, and now we are building a tree house. But you probably notice a lot of stuff by the pool. I guess I decorated the pool and stuff as well when I was not recording, but that's really all you missed. I mean, there's a grill, I put a table and chairs there, and yeah, that's about it. I did put a pool on a patio, and I don't do that very often, and it looks super good. I do love doing it. I just don't do it often because it takes some finagling to make it look right if you do have it on like a foundation / patio. But I took some time to really get it to look good in this build. I really enjoy it. I hope you guys like it as well. I usually just have my pools down on like floor level, but I wanted to be a little bit different this time. But we're not completely done with the patio and stuff like that, so I'll be working on it a little bit more. I definitely changed the wood that's there around the pool. I was going to do white, but I'm pretty sure I end up changing it to like light brown or something. That is my favorite wood in the game, is that light brown color. I use it absolutely all the time, probably a little bit too much, but I just can't help myself. As far as the tree house goes, I was really trying to make it match the house that's here. I figured the dad that lives here is like really into handiness, and his daughter really had a dream of having a treehouse all to herself for a space she can call her own other than her room. And so the dad, being the good dad that he is, he went out in the backyard and he built this treehouse for her. And she told him she really wanted it to look just like their house here, and so he painted it blue. He has the white windows. I almost added the actual windows that I have here on the house that has like the black panels on the side, but I thought that was a little bit too much. So I ended up adding the windows that have like the wood panels on the side of the house. I think it's panels. I think that's what those are called, right? But anyways, I ended up adding the windows that have like the wood panels on the side of the windows, and I thought that was perfect. That looks like an actual like window that the dad built. And so I ended up adding those, and I just made them white all around just so they matched. And I also cut a hole out into the tree house. I don't do that often. I put the tree inside of the tree house and it looks like the floor is built into the tree, but that's really not super realistic. So what I did this time was add a fence around like a cutout that's inside of the tree house, and the tree is like grown through. Not really grown through, but like the tree house is literally built around the tree, like real life, you know? That's the story I was trying to tell with that tree house anyways. Obviously, I am not done with the tree house. I still have to add all of like the children's decorations and skill building items and stuff like that inside of the tree house, but I will talk about that later when we are doing it. I usually save the tree house for last. We are back inside now, and as you can see, I already decorated the master bedroom and the master bathroom. Really nothing special there. It's literally just the typical stuff that I usually do. You can kind of see it in the corner. I have like a bed, a rug, dresser, computer, all of that stuff that they need. And then I have a back door that's leading out into the backyard, straight out to the pool. I really don't do that like ever, I don't think, but for some reason I thought it was a good idea here. Honestly, in real life, what I do for fun sometimes is look at homes.com and look at homes around me. And that is what I was doing this day before I built this house. And so I literally seen a house that had the master bedroom right off the pool like this, and so I kind of wanted to replicate that here in this build, and I really like it. I think I'm going to do it more often, to be honest. And I also furnished the downstairs bathroom. These bathrooms are a little different than I usually do. I don't usually do bathrooms this big, but this build just happened that way. And so I tried to break it up a little bit by adding like platforms and adding separate rooms for the toilets, and then adding big vanities for like the sink. And then we have a walk-in shower tub combo. And I think these bathrooms look really good. I also remembered to add toddler potties in both the downstairs and the upstairs bathroom. So wherever the toddler is in the house, there is a potty right there next to them. And I absolutely love to do that for gameplay purposes. It's so hard to have the toddler potties only upstairs or only downstairs. And so when your toddler is in the opposite level of the house, it makes it so hard to have the toddler go potty on their own, or even have the adult sim grab the toddler and bring the toddler to the potty. Sometimes it takes too long and then the toddler goes potty in their pants, and that's not fun. I mean, we work really hard to potty train our toddlers here in The Sims, but it's not always easy. Even though, honestly, I'm sure it's much, much harder in real life. Trust me. But for this bathroom, this upstairs one's pretty interesting too. And then they have this big bay window in this bathroom. I love having these bay windows in The Sims. They're so pretty. And sometimes I will make my own bay window. I did that in my previous video. You just, you know, it's no secret. I'm sure you guys know how to do it, but you just have like the walls and you put it in a half octagon up close to the house. It's kind of hard to explain without actually showing you, but that's how you make your own bay window. And I love doing that, especially for kitchens. And you have like a little breakfast nook there. It's so pretty. But when I'm too lazy and I don't feel like making it myself, then I put the pre-made bay window there that is right there on that bathroom. And it's still really pretty. Sometimes I prefer to use those over the pre-made bay windows just because they fit better in certain areas. And in this build, I was a little bit lazy. I didn't put any decorations on top of the bay window that's there, but sometimes I will do that, especially if it's like the kitchen or someone's bedroom. Like I decorated a child's bedroom one time and I put some stuffed animals up there, and it's just super cute to put some decorations up on that little shelf that's there. We are now over into the infant's room, and you guys know how last video I was saying I'm running out of ideas on base game nurseries. Well, I did make this one a little bit different. I don't usually use this crib, but I wanted to use it in this build, particularly because it has like this burgundy and blue color, and I thought it was super pretty. And then I had my sim put a mobile on top of it. And that is something I do not do, honestly, ever. Just because it takes so much time to have your sim go there and actually build the mobile that's attached to the crib. It takes so much extra effort, so I never do it, but I did it here, and I want to do it more often now. It's so cute there. And they have like little birds attached to it. I think that mobile is so stinking cute. I just wish that they put the option where you could choose the mobile that is attached to it. As far as I know, they did not add that feature. I really wish they would have added ones that have like not only birds, but had like sheep or something on there. I know flying sheep doesn't really make sense. You know, my idea for using the sheep is just because you count sheep. So when you're trying to go to sleep, you count sheep, and I feel like that makes sense. But I could see why they did birds because, you know, they're flying. But I also added some bookcases in here, and I added this bubble light lamp right next to the dresser. I never used that. I don't know why. It's super, super cute. Perfect for like kids' rooms and stuff. And these bookcases are super cute. I absolutely love this swatch, and it fit perfectly in this room. As you can see, I've kept the blue and burgundy theme throughout the whole room. And really, this infant's room could be for a boy or a girl. Like, that is a super gender neutral room. As far as the curtains go, I used the curtains with the star swatch. And I love that swatch. I don't use that often either, just because it's so like busy looking, and I like to use the busy wallpaper. But instead of using the busy wallpaper, I decided to use the busy curtains instead. And yeah, that infant's room, I feel like turned out super, super cute. Better than some of the last ones that I've been doing. I've been really slacking on infants' nurseries lately. I'm getting burnt out on them because I add a nursery in every single build that I do, but I just can't help it. I absolutely love to make them. And we didn't have cribs for so long that I just feel the need to put them in every build now. We are over into the toddler's room now, and I was thinking this was for a little boy, and it is dinosaur themed, obviously. We have the dinosaur stuffed animal. I ended up putting a dollhouse in here as well. I did the modern one. I don't do that dollhouse often, but I just wanted to put it in someone's room in this build. It had to go somewhere, and so I ended up putting it in the toddler's room. And then we have the toy box, and we have the blocks, and I did that little staircase dresser with the swatch that has like the little underwears and socks on the face of the drawer to tell you, you know, what drawer has what in there. I think it's super cute, super realistic too for a kid's room. At least I think I used that swatch. It's hard to say because I haven't seen it yet, but I am pretty sure I used that swatch. I love that swatch. It's my favorite one out of the swatches on that dresser. And then in the corner, oh yes, I did use that swatch, didn't I? Or is it the one with the owls? Oh, okay. So I guess I did the one with the owls instead. Well, anyways, I do really love the one that have like the underwear swatch and stuff on it. I think it's super cute. And then we have other wall decorations on the walls. I have this shelf that's here. Something that I like to do is add a shelf on a wall in the kids' room and then add like diapers or something else that's needed. And so that's what I did here. And it makes sense, especially being over the dresser like this. And I also added that little measuring height measure thing. I don't really know what you call those, but you know, where you put the kid up against the wall and you measure their height. That is what I put there. And different, you know, toys on top of the dresser. And on the other side, in the other corner, I ended up putting some of the like teddy bear seats there. And I love those things. I think they're super cute for kids' rooms. I feel like they're like the blow up ones, you know, in real life, how there's like blow up seats for kids. At least there was when I was a kid. And like there was like blow up Blue's Clues chairs. I had that when I was like 4 or 5 years old. I remember getting it as a kid for my birthday, and I absolutely loved that thing. It was like Blue's Clues big red chair. Yeah, I loved it. But yeah, I guess that's why I always envisioned those teddy bear ones being like the blow up air mattress type of chair. We are over into the child's room now, and this is a blue and purple themed room. I also tried to make this kid's room different than the normal kid's room that I usually do. I don't do blue and purple together often at all, but I think it looks really good together. I think they complement each other pretty well. I also added this frog in like a tank in my kid's room. I don't do that often, but I absolutely love to do it. I think it's super cute, and that's like their little pet, you know? And I also have a dollhouse in here. We were able to fit a computer desk in here as well as a TV. So there's plenty of entertainment for this child. And I kind of figured this was a really outdoorsy type of kid, and maybe a little bit on the creative side as well, but particularly loves to spend time outside. You know, just playing with their friends and hanging out in their tree house, anything but to be inside with their parents and stuff. They just love to spend time away from like their family and stuff. You know, I remember being like that as a kid. So this is probably more for like a preteen type of kid rather than like a younger kid. At least that's what I was thinking. Preteens are like known for wanting to stay away from their parents. They don't want to hang out with their parents. You know, their parents are lame. It's, yeah, it's just a thing. Preteens are like that. It's almost a necessity to go through that as a kid. Like, if you don't, then were you even ever a preteen? And teenagers are really bad about that too, but I feel like it starts as a preteen. Guys, how awesome would it be to have a preteen life stage added here in The Sims? I really wish they would do that. And honestly, they added it in like Sims Free Play or Sims Mobile or something like that. And so it's really not impossible. I am not trying to keep my hopes up, but we thought infants would never come, and we also thought horses would never come. And so it's a very real possibility that we could get a preteen life stage at some point. And how exciting would that be? Like, we would have so many different life stages, like more than ever before. We already have more than we have ever had before. So that would really be awesome. I truly hope they eventually put preteens in here before The Sims 4 is over. And we all know The Sims 4 is here to stay at least for the next 4 or 5, maybe 6 years, right? I don't think they have any plans of ending The Sims 4 anytime soon. And at this point, I am really starting to enjoy The Sims 4. They are starting to add so many good things, and I kind of don't want it to end anytime soon. That might be an unpopular opinion, but honestly, it's true. I'm curious as to how many of you guys feel that way. Comment down below if you would like to see The Sims 4 stick around for the next 5 or 6 years, or if you want it to end as fast as possible and you are ready for the next best thing. Yeah, let me know down below. I really would love to know. I am super curious. But we are now finally outside. We have completely furnished the inside. I am not going to do anything more on the inside of the main house anyways. However, I do still have the treehouse left to furnish. But for now, we are finishing up the landscaping, and I decided to use a little bit of a different flower than I normally use. I usually use like those circular, really bushy flowers. It's literally the same flowers I use in all of my other builds. I don't know the name of those flowers, but if you watch my other videos, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I decided to use these hydrangeas instead, which are my second favorite flower to use in the game. I feel like they're super pretty, especially this white swatch. I love this white swatch, and they fit in smaller areas, which is perfect when you have like a small lot that you're trying to build on. And honestly, these hydrangeas, I think they pair perfectly with those ferns that I'm using. So I really enjoy using those two together. And I use them both together a lot in Willowcreek. I don't know why those two flowers, or not flowers, but the hydrangeas and the ferns mixed with the hedgerow bushes, I feel like they have Willowcreek just written on them. I don't know why they scream Willowcreek to me, but they do. And so I love to use them here in Willowcreek. But something else that I did on this build that I don't usually do, I usually add the trash cans right next to the mailbox just because I feel like that's like a realistic thing to do. A lot of people in real life will have their trash cans outside right next to their mailbox for like the trash people to pick up. At least here in America, that's what we do here. So I do that in a lot of my suburban houses, but this time I ended up putting the trash cans on the side. Like, I have a gate on the side going to that sidewalk. Since this is a corner house, I like to have like multiple accesses to the outside, if that makes sense. Like, I have like a sidewalk in the front to the front yard leading to like the sidewalk in the front of the house, but I also have one here leading to the sidewalk on the side of the house. I feel like it just makes sense when you're on a corner lot, right? It's kind of like the point of a corner lot, I feel like. But since this is a corner lot and I have that second sidewalk leading to the sidewalk on the side of the house, I ended up putting 2 trash cans right there on the side of the house. I don't know why. It just was something different that I thought of, and I thought it was kind of a good idea, so that is what I ended up doing. But the mailbox is still in front of the house, of course. It wouldn't make sense to have the mailbox on the side, I feel like. So yeah, we are now putting the last minute touches here in the backyard. I almost put that new pirate ship, but obviously it did not fit. We have like literally no space here in the backyard, but I was able to fit some monkey bars back here. Of course, I made them red. It just made sense. The whole theme of this house is like red, and so I really wanted to put the red monkey bars. I think the red monkey bars are like super pretty. I just love red in general. I feel like it's a really pretty, nice, pop of color, you know? And then I also added some raised garden beds along with some of these circular garden pots, and I almost made the garden pots red. I really could not decide if I wanted to make them red or not. I think I ended up making them brown and sticking with the brown, but I almost did the red just because the red was so pretty. But yeah, and then we did some very, very light terrain paint in this build, nothing too crazy, and that is pretty much it. We are now starting to furnish the tree house, and of course I had to put like a little garden gnome front door mat here in front of this door. I just thought it was super cute and super fun, and it just looked like something that this child would have in front of their front door leading to their tree house. So that is what I ended up going with. And right now I don't have like that open floor with the tree through it, but I will be adding it here in just a minute. Honestly, I don't love the way it looks just because it makes the lighting off in this tree house, but it almost makes it a little bit more realistic, right? And other than that, we have some other additional skill building items for the child. We have a mental table and we have a creativity table. And then we have a couple of chairs here as well. Something I love to include in a lot of my tree houses are like TVs, particularly the Penguin TV, of course, but we didn't have a lot of room here. Oh, and we have a little violin as well. And yeah, just plenty of stuff for the child Sam to build their skills. I also included some colorful curtains, and the whole thing here in this treehouse is like very, very colorful, and I love that. And yeah, so this is pretty much it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's build. Of course, if you did, then please leave a like on this video just so I know to continue building base game houses just like this one. And of course, subscribe if you have not already. I really hope you all have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world. And I will see you all in the next one very soon. Bye, guys.